What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news for you concerning Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy Promotions. They have, in fact, hit Gennady Golovkin with a lawsuit, okay, for decimation of character due to the remarks that Gennady Golovkin made about his statements and remarks concerning Canelo Alvarez's positive drug testing on the origin of where he got them and how he got them. He reported he's seen pictures with needle marks in Canelo Alvarez's stomach that indicates there was foul play of drug use going on with that. And and of course, the immediate reaction due to Golden Boy hitting him with this lawsuit. I don't know how much the lawsuit is for, but it is a lawsuit filed. But, that's that. And I see everything blatantly. I see, Golden Boy slapping Canelo Alvarez with that lawsuit to save face. It makes total sense. I can remember when the Floyd and Manny Pacquiao lawsuit was going on. Manny Pacquiao's people sued Floyd Mayweather's people for slander and decimation of character due to ped use, allegations, and that lawsuit, it went on for a while, and that's a little different, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. But it makes sense. First of all, it showed if Golden Boy did nothing, according to Gennady Golovkin, because the fight's still happening. Okay, so if Golden Boy never retaliated in any kind of way, that showed that they weren't defending their notion that Canelo Alvarez is a clean fighter, okay? Because Canelo Alvarez, he's been under the hot seat for a while, and then this is actually the first time he's ever tested positive for anything, so, his reputation is at stake. So that was a good move, or a good business decision from Golden Boy to do something like that. In reality, I think it's totally ludicrous, though. It's ludicrous because, okay, these days, it's so parallel to the Manny and Floyd situation. It's just ridiculous. Okay, for one, you got this lawsuit based on someone's opinion on what they think another fighter is doing and what they done. And in reality, okay, in the real world, when you have, because I thought the freedom of speech was exactly that. I thought it was a or a U.S. right. You can say what you feel, about a particular person and how that happens. Like Floyd. Floyd said, "Hey, yeah, I think Manny Pacquiao's taking powder pellets. We gonna give him that drug test though." So they slapped him with the lawsuit. Gennady Golovkin, yeah, he's not a clean fighter. Him and Golden Boy's dirty. It's not. It didn't come from meat. That's dirty. So they slapped him with a lawsuit. But I think this is a little different because I don't see why they would be so hell bent on the remarks that Gennady Golovkin stated. You know what I mean? Everyone has their opinion on how Canelo Alvarez got this particular drug in his system. Okay, there is no point about the facts. The facts are that Canelo Alvarez had clenbuterol in his system, and he tested twice. So if it was a small amount one time, then they checked it again, it's still there. It wasn't that small to be tested positive 2 separate times, okay? So, it's one of those things where you're trying to justify what your excuse is. See, it's only an excuse because it has not been proven. Okay, so whatever Gennady Golovkin said, the fight's still going to happen. Um, like Max Kellerman said, he's a straight up guy, Gennady Golovkin. He's not going to tell you nothing that he doesn't feel. He's just speaking his mind. I don't think that's the case. And anybody else could have said that. It would have been a different story. And had it be Gennady Golovkin, we wouldn't even be having this situation. You wouldn't even be having any of this right now. So, it's interesting to see how this will play out. But on a business standpoint, Golden Boy's covering their tracks. They're backing their boy. Their boy's been clean. He's never been dirty. It is Mexican meat. It's been other athletes from Mexico with the same thing. So yeah, they have. You could see both sides. If you're a Canelo Alvarez fan, you could say, "Hey man, you know what? It could actually be the meat." Because they do certain practices in Mexico with their cows. You know what I mean? But I don't like the word contaminated. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's contaminated meat. I think it's just a different practice on how they use that is not legal in America. And since it's not legal because the actual chemical just so happen makes you stronger and decrease fat and stuff like that. But I'm going to leave you with this. It's this. This is what I want to talk to you guys about. Okay? Drugs, steroids. Mike Tyson said it best. Okay? Steroids don't make you a winner. They might give you an edge. They might give you an edge, or they might think you get an edge. Either way, if you take drugs to make you psychologically think that I'm better, that's an edge. Okay, so make no mistake about that. But it does not guarantee a win. It does not guarantee you're going to go in there and win. You ask Fernando Vargas. You ask Lucas Brown. He just got KO'd by Dylan White. Okay, and he was a drug user all through there. Deontay Wilder fights Povetkin and comes in, and knocks him out. Does not make you a winner. It does not make you automatically going to get better skill-wise, or you know what I'm saying? It doesn't. It gives you an edge to a certain degree, but it doesn't. It's not. It's not a guaranteed thing. So guys are taking a risk by putting their bodies at stake. By abusing their bodies with drugs. And if they feel they need that, hey, woe be unto them, right? Because you don't really need that to be the best. The question is, can Gennady Golovkin still do that? Because he has to seal the legacy. He has to seal the legacy. And I said this before and I'll say it again, but a lot of people don't understand what this really means. Gennady Golovkin has to do something that he could have easily done 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. He'll be 36 years old by the time he fights Canelo Alvarez. He was 35 last year when the first time he fought him. Oscar De La Hoya, I've said it again and again, he set this up strategically for Canelo to fight Gennady Golovkin at 35 and Canelo be 27. Okay? Canelo still will be 27 years old in his prime. All right? Because Oscar De La Hoya knows how to make a star. So he's making a star out of Canelo Alvarez. That's just like, okay, let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this. Give you another scenario. Let's say that Oscar De La Hoya, the second time he fought Julio Cesar Chavez, the great Julio Cesar Chavez, right? Let's say he tested positive for whatever. Clenbuterol. Let's say he tested positive for it, and then, it was a big uproar, like, oh, Oscar De La Hoya's the cheater. Oscar De La Hoya, he shouldn't even be fighting, but the fight still goes on because Julio Cesar Chavez is like, no, I still want to fight this guy. I still think I have enough in the tank to fight this particular guy, and then given how that first fight went, and then of course, reality happens. He does not do it. And then Oscar De La Hoya is a cheater, and he doesn't really deserve to fight. But guess what? That didn't happen. Okay, that didn't happen that way. So you got to give Gennady Golovkin props on the things that he was still able to do in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, being an aging fighter. I've seen it in the Danny Jacobs fight. Gennady Golovkin is a good fighter, and it's not. People say, because of the competition. I don't believe it's really the competition. I think he would have got hit with shots, but I think he would have had a lot more vibrance in his movements. I think he fights like an older, seasoned fighter now, and Golden Boy wants to bank on that. You know, so the thing is, can he still do what's right for the sport of boxing? Can he still do that? You know, and then with the lawsuit, who does it help? Does it distract what fighter? Does the lawsuit distract the Gennady Golovkin camp? You know, it definitely makes it now more intense, you know, more reason to watch this particular fight because the story behind it is you got a young guy that cheats versus an older guy that doesn't. Okay, you got the younger guy that cheats, and the most popular fighter, you know, in this generation, he's a cheater, you know, and he's a protected cheater because he has one of the biggest promotional companies in the sport of boxing. And on this end, you have Gennady Golovkin, the little known, cult followed guy that has made his own claim to fame, but is an aged fighter now. Okay, it took him a long time to do it legitimately, though. Okay, just fighting his way up to the top. You know, from poverty to all types of other adversity. You know what I'm saying? And then he's here on this platform now. You know, but you know, it's crazy. It's like, you know, a older fighter that fights for righteousness versus the other guy, you know. So it's really the good versus the bad, you know, and it depends on which side you take, you know what I mean? So that's the question you ask yourself, you know. I mean, what does it affect? Who does it affect? You know, I mean, did Golden Boy slap that lawsuit on there, or did Canelo initiate that because he's pissed off? You know, and in fact, he does say, "I'm gonna knock him the fuck out." I mean, he literally said those are his words. "I'm gonna knock Gennady Golovkin the fuck out." So, you know, all this said and done, okay, this boils down to one hell of a fight that's coming Cinco de Mayo weekend. That's the everything. You know, what does it mean to the fans, to everybody that's surrounding this whole fiasco? It's going to be one hell of a fight. You know, so if it's anything less than that, boo-hoo. Or it could be an early round knockout for either guy because they're going to come in with something to prove. They're going to come in with something. They have to make a statement. Canelo Alvarez, hey, I'm going to knock him the fuck out. I'm going to get him out of there. Canelo Alvarez, I got to stop this guy and put him down. Boom. You know, so you got two guys that's going to collide, and it's going to be awesome. You know, so that's my take on it, man. And you guys tell me what you think about this. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. You guys been counterpunched. Peace.